you all get together with all these great scientific communities y'all are going to be part of and figure out how to stop homelessness and hunger.
Yeah.
Let that be your mission. There's a show on Discovery called The Hoarders.
Well, you was on the Hoarders?
Mm-hmm.
Is that hilarious?
They used to call me in to do animal recovery. This animal, this little dog, we found her in a basement, locked in a steel cage, inside of a box.
Wow.
She weighed 2 pounds, and this particular breed should weigh 14 pounds. She was existing by drinking her own waste, and eating her own waste.
Yeah.
And I pulled her out right away. They had forgotten that she was even in the basement, they said. So, yeah, here she is 5 years later. She's at my house. That's Bella. I wanted to say thank you to both of you.
You're welcome.
Coming to an outreach to volunteer is a new experience for a lot of people. And some people don't even know what we do here. And so for you guys to come out today and help and put in a lot of sweat time means a lot to the people that we help. You wonder who they are, where the food supplies go, and the animal supplies.
It goes to people who doesn't have that much food, or they're like in need of food.
Yes, that is a big part of what we do. We have a lot of homeless individuals in the county, and they haven't always been homeless. The county's changed over the years. Years ago, we had like a lot of farmland, not many houses, and people lived in those houses. And as the county grows, sometimes those people can't afford the land that they're living on, and they lose it. And suddenly, people that have always lived here don't have a place to go. And that's because the cost of living rises, the property tax rise. So we help the people that are completely homeless, but we're also helping families that are just struggling to get through the week. They still have a house. Sometimes their utilities are turned off. And we try to go in and provide food that we know they can eat without cooking it. And a lot of veterans are here in this county that served in the military. Some of them were injured, and they have their own military dogs with them out there in the woods.
Dogs.
Yes. They're beautiful German Shepherds, Pit Bull mixes, Terriers. Yeah.
Someone at my school.
That's a big part of that food that you guys were moving. That's what goes for that. That veterans that help served in the military that now have some health issues, the military gives them these gorgeous dogs that help take care of them. And we're feeding them with all that food that y'all were lugging up the steps while y'all were doing some volunteer work. That way they can all stay together.
At our school, every Friday they give people that signed up. They give people like big bags of food.
Of food to keep them for the weekend, to hold them over and stuff. Can you imagine how difficult it would be if there wasn't anything to share with them? That's a really difficult thing. Mom and Dad always take care of us. You know how your mom and dad, they make sure y'all have everything you need. But some kids in the school system, they've lost their parent, they've been sick and passed away, or they're living with grandparents, or even in foster care. And this is how we can help give them the extra things that they wouldn't maybe get. Even at Christmas time, Wellstar Hospital and some other people in the community help us get gifts for every single person that we're helping. So it's important that outreaches are here. And outreaches they're not a source of generating money, they're a source of generating things. Food, clothing, dog food, things that are needed in the community that people can't pay for.
How did you get started and bring food to the homeless and on who need?
Thank you for asking that. About 30 years ago, yes, a long time ago. About 30 years ago, I was married but had no children. I was working in very similar situations where I would try to help people that were homeless. And there was a young woman that had a 2-year-old little boy. She had been a victim of a crime and became pregnant and decided without any resources, she just had to have the baby in the woods. So I found her one day, and that little boy was 2. I worked with her and realized that while she was a great person, it was going to be almost impossible for her at her young age to take care of him. And over the next year, she and I worked with Department of Family and Children's Services, and I adopted that little boy. And he's my 33-year-old son. And he is married and has a son, my grandson, Dominic. This has been a lifelong mission to help people, because we don't even realize that there are people out that are homeless when they're 16 years old with babies. They've been victims of crimes. They're not our enemy. They're our best neighbor that needs us the most. And so I go out into the woods. I only have one person that I work with that even has a car to drive to where I am, and they do live in the woods. They just have a car to get around. So it matters to be good people and to help the people that have always been here. And my son is just a living testament to what helping your neighbor, a complete stranger, can really do. I'm proud of him. He grew up strong. He got his education. He set up security at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta.
Nice.
And he does the same work for the Mercedes-Benz. His young mother knew she needed some help, and she was strong enough to, when I offered the help, to take it. And that takes a lot, you know, to say I need the help. It's a hard thing. And I know exactly where she is, and so does my son. And he has every opportunity, anytime he wants, to stop in and see her.
How did Hand Up Homeless Ministry get started?
It was a slow, ongoing process. For years, I would just go into the woods in my off time and look around for anybody that might need help, you know, medical help, food help, whatever. And then over time, I started building supplies on my front porch at my house. And for years, Debbie, you'll remember, people would come over and they'd have to go through my front porch clothes closet. We'd have a 24-hour food bank on my front porch where people could come at any time. So we've really been doing this for years. But just 2 years ago, we decided that if we were going to be able to help more people, we really had to have our own space so that we could collect more things to give to the people that needed them. So we started working with the government here in the county and the Masons and the Sheriff's Department. And between the Sheriff's Department, Colonel Chad Hutton and the Masons, they acquired this location so that we could be here to help the community. The community realizes the value of having some folks that can help. They just weren't quite sure what to do with us. Now they do. Now they come up and pick supplies up for people they'll see. And that's a really important thing. They depend on us. We're depending on them to call us instead of putting somebody in jail that doesn't need to go to jail. They're just homeless, that we can maybe find a safe space for a tent and tuck them away with heating elements and, you know, kind of assess things when the sun comes up. So that's it. It's been a front porch to, it all helps. Nothing you do at outreach ever goes to waste.
So I want to say how I met Patti was through feeding homeless pets, nobody's cats. And she was feeding homeless that had their loved one was a pet. And we were blessed to get food from the food bank. And we just kept pouring it in the community. And Patti and I met through that. And I found out she was feeding local folks that were homeless. And I said, well, let me start making some. How many do you
25
need?
Sandwiches a day, I think you made at least.
Every day.
You filled it up. It wasn't just a sandwich and chips and a carrot stick. I mean,
No.
Debbie filled the bags to the top.
And I thought to myself,
Generous.
this is all they're
Yeah.
going to get to eat. And I looked at it and I'm like,
You did that every day. She used to come and she goes, I don't think there's enough food in each
No.
bag for today.
and you know, God blessed us with the food.
Mm-hmm.
I shared with the people in my world and they donated and were so kind to give us food and trust us with their gift. It just kept blowing up.
It has been ever since.
It
Now
just-
we work with the school system. This county also has a protected witness program for domestic violence victims.
Ah,
We take care of providing food to their doorstep.
Yep.
Those folks for the first month have limited outside time because they don't want anybody to see their
Need to be
locations.
safe.
Right.
And
right,
we are
right.
trusted with their locations.
Right.
So I drop a box off to them, and every now and then there's a problem, and if we have to go daily with cold bags, we will.
Mm-hmm.
We do whatever is required because that's what we have to do for each other.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, we just do it.
Yeah.
And that's why y'all are here.
Yep.
Because whatever it is, y'all are just doing it. And today
That's
it was
right.
putting shelves together and moving pet food that you know people are going to really need.
And appreciate it.
Awesome.
You know, I would like to see more mental health services here. I know they're out there. That's a big thing because these people need to be reached to get well and possibly get home or get a job.
Yeah.
I'd like to see portable showers, if not a place to shower. That's kind of been in my
We're going to
radar.
break down and buy one and make it if we have
We
to.
are. No.
Yeah, and I'm sure just like most other churches, mine loves it when I bring folks in. They don't care how they're dressed.
Yep.
They don't care what's going
Yeah.
on. Just
Right.
come and listen and hear music and eat some food. That's what we do. We're good food eaters. You know, talk about God, eat some food.
Mhm.
How do people get involved, and where do they find homeless ministries on social media?
So it's really easy to get involved with the outreach. We have a 24-hour telephone number right here on our business cards. I don't know if you can see that.
Got it.
You can reach us at that number, and you can also text us at that number. If we don't pick up, it lets you send a message to us. I love it when people want to come and volunteer. All you have to do is ask. I let people volunteer every single day of the work, to work because we work 7 days a week. People have to eat every day. Animals have to eat every day. So we have a huge Facebook page for social media. We'd love for people to follow us there because we list everything that we're doing for the schools, for any other programs out there that we're working with, like our flights into the Carolinas when they needed us. So all you have to do is call us at that telephone number that we just showed, and we will set up times for you to volunteer, and it can absolutely be around your schedule because we're wide open.
What are some things to look for people that you could tell they're really homeless, or if they're really not, but just kind of doing a scam, and
Sure.
what things you can say to kind of, address that situation? Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting because a lot of people ask, how do we identify homeless individuals? We see a lot of different things when we are out. If I see somebody is walking and one of his feet step more deeply than the other, he probably has a hole in the bottom of his shoe. He probably has something stuffed in that hole, but his feet go much deeper in it. So if I see that, that's indicator number one that I'm got my eyes on this gentleman because he's already got something. Number two, he's always carrying a bag. The person that I'm looking at is probably carrying a bag. Not everything they have their stuff stashed away, but they have some bag with the most critical items that they own. So I see the way their step is deep. I see that they're carrying a bag. They most likely have pretty, unkept hair or no hair because it's become unmanageable and they've had to shave it off. There's not a lot of hygiene. They will almost always have a cell phone in their hand. They are free, and it is the only lifeline to anything. It's not going to be in their pocket. It's going to be in their hand. It is the only form of communication with anybody and anything they have. And if they want to enjoy a few minutes, they're going to be on social media, but that phone is a lifeline. And thank goodness that SafeLink and a couple of other companies do offer them at no cost. That is also how we find them. They're able to call us on our phone number. And on any given night, I might wake up the next morning with 4 or 5 messages from people that called between midnight and 6 a.m. saying, I'm homeless. I just got to the county. I'm sitting behind a liquor store and I don't have anything. And as the winter rolls in on us and it gets colder, it'll be just that much more. We'll see people sitting behind shopping centers with blankets. They'll have their pets. We will take out pet coats, people coats, but we start seeing them. In the winter, they become much more obvious because the trees lose their leaves and people aren't able to hide where they're living as well. Sometimes we see very elderly women sitting on benches in shopping centers. They'll be pushing a buggy or a baby cart, and it's most of what they own. And while we just have a minute, let me just say that the homeless population is not what you think it is. These are young men who at young ages, for instance, one young man has autism. He was in the back seat and was hit in a head-on collision. Both of his parents died instantly, but he survived. He doesn't speak very well or very much because his autism is pretty severe. They died with him unaware of how to handle personal hygiene. He's lost all of his teeth now. He is very reserved, likes a lot of cats, but doesn't do well with people, can easily be moved to violence. He has profound autism, but now he's a 50-something-year-old man that we see as an adult. But he watched his parents die in front of him. That's not a homeless alcoholic or drug-addicted person. Neither of those things is he involved in. I got a 90-year-old woman whose husband died suddenly. She never worked outside the home. She can't read or write, and she had no idea of what benefits he might have had. But within a few months, they come and evicted her from her home. And now she pushes a buggy all day long up and down in Hiram. These are not the profiles of people that you do not help. These are our neighbors, and we rise to them. That is what good people do. And everybody that's sitting at this table, we are good people. That's why we are here to do the work.
Well, and there's teens that age out of foster, and there's nowhere. There's no backup for them.
On their 18th birthday,
to go.
to put them in the street.
They're on the street.
We help. Y'all help. That's what you offered today. You offered a homeless person help. It's a big thing.
Shout out to you guys. Look at you guys putting in the work.
Yes, that's the work it takes, and y'all did it.
Yeah. If you have people that are really not homeless and they're just kind of get you and scam you or whatever, when you come across those guys, like, what can people say? 'Cause I know some people just ignore it, but
The first thing those people want is money. They rarely ever want food. And if they accept your food, you'll see them set it down on the curb almost immediately because they're really just there for your money. They usually will not have gone more than a day or two without shaving. It bothers them, but they do it for the look of it. You will see that large populations will walk in the parking lots of like the Walmarts, the Targets, and you will see them working together. A couple of, like a man with his child. And I have watched this happen time and time again. They have a car. When no one's around, they go to the car. They get all the food they've been given and they toss it. And it really upsets me because there really are a lot of homeless people out there. So if you're really clean, even if you're in really beat up clothes, and you just want money, you're just taking the population at large. And if somebody is really having a difficult time, I'll say to them, you need money for what? You need to go to the doctor. If you're sick, I have free medical care. I'll take you. Identify what their need is. Maybe they want cigarettes, but it could also be just a real scammer. And that's what we see in Hiram. People do come here to scam. And you'll ask them, she's like, I came in from DeKalb County today. Okay. I came in from Rome today. What made you come to Paulding County? We have so few resources, and they have pocketbooks. They have nicer things. And
their shoes.
Their shoes are a big indicator for us. Yeah.
And hands. I see, look at their fingernails, because when you're homeless, your nails are really dirty. They don't have a lot of options to wash.
That's true.
That's a really big one I look at, and I see how dirty their hands are and their nails.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
true.
like, you want to tell me more?
What I consider to be a really strong outreach is there is no hard and fast we will or we will not do. If somebody tells me they've got a real issue, I am likely to do whatever it takes to resolve it for them. No questions asked. We don't need driver's license. We don't care where you live. We'll help you with everything we got. Pleasure.
Thank you, Miss
Our
Patti,
pleasure.
and thank you,
Eddie.
Miss Debbie, for being on the interview. Kids, y'all want to say anything to them?
Thank you for telling us.
You're welcome. You know you guys can grab an extra snack because I have you an extra.
Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for
Thank you.
your heart to the people. God sees you guys.
Keep what I got.
He will provide what you need, as he's already done. I'm coming in here like, wow, how is this all happening? Like, it's just God's just making it happen, and
He is.
and he's using the people.
Foot on the gas pedal is what he's done. For the last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. I think
He sees the need.
he sees the
And
need.
He's like, my people are not going hungry. I feed my people.
Right. And then he sees y'all hearts, and he's like, oh, they got the heart for it. Let me be a
go.
conduit to help people. So we appreciate y'all. We're going to help as much as we can
Thank you.
and tell people about you guys. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for all y'all
We
do.
appreciate y'all.
So these are all pre-made
Yep.
things that you could just
these
pass
are the
out.
ideas. Well, I kind of do a combination of stuff and then I can throw it together.
Okay, so
For
you
the-
got
for a
separate
person.
things and you could just kind of put it together.
I have, yep. So these are
The hot hands.
essential.
Hot warmers.
Yeah.
That's my old name, hot hands.
There you go. Tuna.
Tuna.
And we get the small bags of dog food if we see someone
yeah.
that needs them.
Okay.
I distribute these and we donate those. And then I had a lady that, God bless her, she don't have anything and she gets Meals on Wheels and she don't care for this little kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She donated. So I have little cans of Pop Top, always Pop Top.
Okay. Okay.
So little juice boxes, fruits. I carry a bag to add to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I also will give out rocks that I found at Dollar Tree.
Okay.
And we have
Little
different-
encouragement.
Yes.
Little,
And we do have cards in there that are give encouraging words,
that's awesome.
that you're not forgotten, that you are loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dog food again, water.
Okay.
In the summer, I'll freeze these. But sometimes we have them in here. So if I come back around, I need to grab frozen bottles because they can drink it or they can keep their food we give them cold. These are Northside jackets. I do a little. They want to make a little fire.
Little
but-
fire or something.
Yeah. Inside, we have these already pre-packed.
That's a pre-made box. Yeah.
I go in there and I just add more stuff.
Okay.
We've got the sun hat. We've got the cooling for the neck.
Okay.
We've got, if they're females, they need things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Body. Cannot give enough body wipes.
Okay. Okay.
Cannot. Little encouragement.
Encouraging words.
Jesus.
Okay.
We've got toothpaste, crackers, bottled water. There's toothbrushes, granolas.
Snacks.
And if I don't give this out soon, I will replenish the food. We've got this kind of stuff.
Deodorant. Okay.
Sometimes I'll put just a couple two little Tylenols in a little baggie.
Mm-hmm.
Because could you imagine being not well and in the woods in the cold
Nah.
and have a bad headache?
Nah, I can't. That makes everything. Yeah. that's a
No,
whole
so I'm
different-
like,
yeah.
no, I can, and Band-Aids. I'll
Yeah,
give a little
that's
kid a
good.
Band-Aid, just
That's
a
good.
few if they get a cut.
Yeah.
Can even do little swabs of alcohol you can give them.
Mm-hmm.
I go like this. If I'm in the woods and I'm homeless, what do you
What
think
would
I might
need?
want?
Yeah.